How's it going, guys? My name is Matt. You're watching MTG Ownage. Today I'm going to show you how to build and play Tibalt's Trickery. There are a few required cards. And of course, I've built it a million times, but I'm just going to show you how to build it if you don't even have all the cards. So there's some requirements, like Tibalt's Trickery, of course. You need 4 of these. Sorry, you got to buy. I know. So I'm going to try to minimize your wild card buying or whatever. But there's some that are just absolutely necessary because, of course, Tibalt's Trickery. And let's see what else you need. The snake thing. Where's the snake? This guy's 4 serpents, and you need 4 Tormod's crypts. And you need as many temples that produce red as you can. So type in temple, hit red, pretty much just put all these in there. With whatever you got, it's going to be good enough. This is the core of the deck. And don't worry, I'll get to the games and how to play the deck once we get there. But mainly you need this. We'll sort out this whole mountain thing too. And now from here, you've got the core. Now you just need some absolute bombs to go into. And some of them are just obvious. Like there's, of course, Valky, God of Lies. He is super good because you can cast his Cosmic Imposter. So put whatever of him you got in there. Ugin is crazy good. Yeah, let's look at all colors now. So these we're not even necessarily going to cast. We just want to get them with the Tibalts. So there's our little core. We'll put that over there. This is basically what we want in our opening hand. Dropping a temple first turn. We'll get to the gameplay. And these are the bombs. Another thing that's really, really good is the ultimatums. Some of them are just crazy good, like Genesis Ultimatum. Let's get as many of those as possible. And any of these other ultimatums you want are pretty good. I noticed that this emergent one is pretty good. Ruinous is probably not bad, but it's not as good. Another card that's really good is... let's see here. Let's just go to the really high CMC stuff. Chromatic Orrery is super good because if you get that, you can just play everything in your hand. I kind of like playing the Godzilla guy. This one, he's super good to get, and you could cycle him if you're having a rough day. And we still got some more slots. So what else is really good? I'll tell you what's really good. There's some 6-drop stuff. Let's check out. This Dream Trawler, getting this is amazing because he can protect himself and all that. So you kind of got to have him. And this might even be good enough. Let's just go with traditional standard. We're not even going to do a sideboard. Who needs a sideboard? See, we got room for 2 more cards, but we're also going to cut some of these lands because we don't really need these lands. So let's just get rid of all these. Get rid of all these. So from here, you can just put in whatever other giant bombs you want. This is enough to win games right here. Yeah, so some of these, let's go to lands and let's look at the mythic rare lands. Wait, okay, I got a CMC selected. So some of these lands are really good. Amirius Call is amazing because it's perfectly fine to get. You get some Angel Warriors or you can drop it as a land. So it's kind of better than a land drop. Put that in for some lands. Turn Timber Symbios is quite amazing too. You usually end up with something super good. I don't even have 4 of them, so we'll cut 1. All right, very good. And now we probably want some pathways that have red in them, just to have. You need your second land drop to not come into play tapped, so you can actually play Tibalt's Trickery on second turn. So let's turn off this mythic thing, and here we go. So between these, let's see, we might need this. We might need to cast Valky on this side, so we'll put in a couple of these. Do we need the blue ever? Maybe for the Dream Trawler. So we'll put in a couple of these, potentially some white, potentially some of that. Okay, and we're looking pretty good here. Now, what else is super good? Kogla. Where's Kogla? Kogla's super good here. It's a nice hit. And this is probably good enough to win right here. I don't like the amount of lands, to be honest. Let's see, how many am I running? 18. Maybe a little heavy. So we can maybe drop a pathway or 2, but you know what? This is fine. This is good enough. So if you don't have any of these cards in particular, you can just put in other giant bombs in place of them. There's a lot out there. You can basically just look at your mythics, look at the high casting cost stuff that's going to wreck your opponent if it comes out on turn 2, and you're probably pretty good to go. You can put in some board wipes if you want. Usually don't need them. I like to have this Cure Best of Sea Gods. So maybe we'll take out these are all, that's between these calls and the pathways, we got a lot of lands. I'm going to take out one of these Amirius Calls and maybe one of these pathways and maybe one of these temple. Oh, no, we'll keep all the temples. maybe one of these. And that should be pretty good, because I kind of want to put in Cure Our Best Sea Gods. This is really nice too. And there's another card that's really good called Owl Run's Epiphany. That's really good too. Nice hit. And I think we're looking pretty good. You can put in more Planeswalkers. Like, for example, Ashiok is really good. A Nightmare Muse. Yeah, this is a super good hit. But we're a little full. Got a bunch of... I'm going to cut down to 3 Godzillas here. I'm going to put in an Ashiok. And maybe one more Ultimatum. I think I got to go to rare here. Ultimatum. There we go. Emergent Ultimatum. Because why not? We'll just throw that in there. Alright, so you can kind of tweak a little bit, crunch the numbers, but we're good from here. So, once you have cards in your sideboard, nah, whatever. And here we go. That's how you play the deck. Let's just do best of 1 so I can actually show you. Here's the deck we just built. And let's have some fun. Okay, very good. So I'm going to show you what to look for in your opening hand and how to mulligan, and basically how to play to win here. So basically, the general rule is, if you have Tibalt's Trickery in your hand, you don't mulligan. That's it. That's the rule. You got Tibalt's Trickery, no more mulligans, you just keep, no matter what else. I don't have any of the zeros, so that's unfortunate, but we might draw into one. And we got a Temple first, so we essentially get to draw another card to make sure we get one. Nope, it's not one. With these Temples, you're like 90% of the time going to be putting the card to the bottom, unless it's the Trickery, unless it's the perfect card you need, you put it on the bottom. Looks like this guy's playing the illegal cards. That's fine. So we have a bit of trouble here where we can't play Tibalt's quickly, but it's not super bad here because we can at least play a turn 2 Valky, which is actually still pretty strong. So this is not a bad start. Get to see his hand, take his Broodmoth. Of course he's going to use his Banishing Light, but he's only going to hit us for 1 damage with his Priest, so we're in a decent starting position. If we keep drawing duds, we'll lose, but if we draw like one thing for the Trickery, we're good. So let's just see what he does here. And at the play, we've seen his hand, the play is super obvious. He plays the Vanishing Light, right, and then it swings. So let's see if he actually does that. It's like he's thinking hard about his only choice. People do that in Arena. I know, it's crazy. Once you get to higher ranks, people play a little faster, so don't worry. Just keep playing. It'll get faster once you're, like, good at this, but... Yep, there he goes. That's the obvious play. He's going to swing at us, and we're going to get back to our turn. Alright, back to our turn. We drew the Epiphany. It's no good. We can at least cycle this guy. I could do it at the end of his turn. It's probably better. I could also foretell. But I think we're just going to put this in tapped and let him have his turn. And we're going to cycle this at the end of his turn. So we're going to put a hold here. And just pass. Let him do his thing. It's going to take him a while because we're playing Arena. People just take forever. I know I shouldn't complain, but... it gets a little frustrating sometimes to like be able to see exactly the game and just watch your opponent take like 10 minutes to make the one play. Alright, so here we go. Cycle. I guess this guy's not bad. He's fine. He's fine. I'm not going to complain. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Don't unsubscribe. Alright. There we go. We got another Temple. It's kind of rough. An Ultimatum. That's no good. Alright, so we drop our 1 card here. And we really don't have... oh, there's the Crypt. That's what we need to draw. Okay, next turn's it. Let's just go ahead and foretell this, because why not? Alright, so it's not too bad if you get a little behind. I still got 18 life. I got plenty of turns to sort things out. If I hit a bomb with this next play, it's over for him, so I'm not gonna sweat it too much. So now is where it's really important you do this right, because if you just try to play this, it's going to drop onto the board, and you're going to lose. So you got to hit Control, and you'll see full control over here. And then you play this out. Do not resolve it. Then you play out Tibalt's Trickery. You target your Tormod's Crypt. And now at this point, you can drop the full control by hitting Control again and hit Submit. Just let it go. See what happens. See if we get lucky. And there we go. We got an Ugin. Cool. And now with Ugin, what you want to do is look at their CMC, 3, 3, 3, and just wipe their board. And usually they concede about right now, but we'll see if he continues. Valky comes back. I guess I'll take his Speaker. I could take the Broodmoth, but I don't really care. I'd rather have this guy that can, I don't know, give me a little life, I guess. Anyway, he's probably going to Banishing Light my Ugin. No? He's playing the Priest of Ancient Lore. Which, in my opinion, is probably his weakest play, but honestly, no matter what he does, he's going to lose at this point. Unless he has, like, some crazy play that I would never see coming, you know? So we're just going to hit the Ugin, do the 3 damage here, because why not? There's a lot of because why nots at this point, you know? It's just the way it goes. Play our Temple. We're going to scry everything at the bottom. We want lands, basically, or more stuff to Tibalts, so... And that's it. Yeah, they usually concede right about that point. As soon as you land at Tibalts, if they know they're going to lose, they concede. And that's it. That's how you play it. Let's do one more game for good measure, okay? Okay, I want you guys to understand how to play this deck and how to get this card banned, because this deck should totally be banned. I honestly can't believe it's still legal. I don't think enough people play it, or maybe it's not consistent enough, but if you just basically do what I'm saying, you're going to win like most games. So, here we go. This is, okay. So this is an important lesson here. This hand you might think is okay. It's not. Because remember, there's one rule here. Only one rule. Do you have Tibalt's Trickery? We don't, so we hit the mulligan button. Now we got 2 of them. That's fine. No matter what else is there, we keep it. And what you put back doesn't really matter. You want to keep your land drops, of course. We got Temple into Miria's Call. We're going to have to pay with 3 life. That's fine. We'll put back Chromatic because it's going to be hardest to play. But any big thing to put back is fine. As long as you don't put back a land you need or something. Or the 0 spell. Very good. So we play the Temple. See what we got. 90% of the time, 99% of the time, this card goes on the bottom. Unless it's something else for the other Tibalts or the land you need or something, it's always bottom. And here we go. There's tons of people playing these white decks. They're very easy to beat. So here we go. Now you want to play this on the land side. Make sure you pay the life. If you miss this, then you just mess up your game plan. Now, remember, full control. Hit full control. Play the Stone Coil for 0. Confirm 0. Do not resolve it. Now, Tibalt's Trickery this bad boy. And once that's on there, you can release the full control and hit submit. Just let the magic happen. Sometimes you'll get a dud, but most of the time, you'll get something amazing. So we get an Emergent Ultimatum. We're going to choose Kogla and some other bombs. Kiora, Best the Sea Gods is fine, and I guess we could do Godzilla or Turn Timber. I'm feeling the Turn Timber here, but Godzilla would be a fine choice too. I actually like to get this usually, but it's in my hand, so. And there we go. So he's got to choose 1 for us to shuffle back in, and we get 2 of them to cast. This is turn 2. So he might just concede here. Most people do concede at this point, and you can just like plow through games super quick. We put the Sea Gods back, and we get to cast both of these. Nice. All right, and no, oh, that's unfortunate. The Turn Timber whiffed, but hey, it happens. We'll just fight the Daxos, that's fine. Now this is kind of rough, because it's possible that he has like a Banishing Light or something and can get rid of Kogla, but it looks like it's a no. So, we're quite good here. This will be okay. And we drew the card we put back. Interesting. Alright, so we are going to, of course, swing with Kogla. Can't destroy him. He's indestructible. But we still get to do 7 damage. And he's only got 3 cards in hand. Not a whole lot of choices for him. We are going to go ahead and cycle this. We might get a land drop, so we're going to cycle it during our turn rather than his turn. General rule is if you could possibly get something you need this turn, you cycle them right away. Another Tibalt's. We already got one, so we're going to put it down. We need another 0 cast thing to trigger our Tibalt's. Otherwise, we're just going to ride this Kogla. Now, this seems like a really good start, and it is, but this is actually one we could potentially lose because we're kind of dry after this. If this Turn Timber hits something good, we would be in a lot better shape. But it is what it is. Alright, let's go ahead and swing with Kogla. And we're just going to keep this pressure on. The pressure from Kogla should allow us to get into late game. He's going to start chumping. So we're going to put this out. No need to play it untapped. Go ahead and foretell this so we can cast it potentially in a couple turns. But we're really looking for another thing to target with Tibalt's. And he's done. We didn't necessarily have it. He could jump and live a few turns, and if we drew duds, he could, you know, potentially do something depending on his deck, but he didn't even want to deal with it. It was just too frustrating. So, alright, let's do one more for good measure. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Okay, that was pretty quick. Here we go, up against Sunseeker, our opponent. Yes, general bad player. I wonder if people like see my name and see me playing this deck and like get like enraged. I think they do, because sometimes I see people rope and I see the highlight going over my cards like, are you serious? Alright, now we're going to follow the main rule here. We got Tibalts, so we do not mulligan, we keep. Actually, this is quite an amazing hand. Yeah, so yeah, definitely a keep, because we got a temple first turn, perfect, and we got a land for second turn. Don't forget to pay the 3 life, it's really important. Oh, and we drew another thing, okay. So let's see what we got up top. Nah, don't need that. The only thing I would keep in this case is basically a land or another Tibalt's Trickery. Everything else we would put to the bottom. So now you might be asking, do I play the Stone Coil or the Tor mods to counter with Tibalts? And the answer is, well, it depends. If you have multiple of something in your hand, the way this reads, it can't hit the same spell. So if I have multiple Tormods in my hand, I'd probably do it with the Stone Coil, because there's only 2 Tormods left in the deck, etc. So you want to make your odds as good as possible. Let's play this, pay the life. Be sure to hit that control button. We're just going to use Tormods because Stone Coil is potentially playable in this case, since it's kind of even. So there's one whiff case here, and that is, well, 2 whiff cases. If we run into another Tibalts, that's bad. If we run into a Stone Coil, that's bad. Everything else is awesome. And that's perfect. We got a Miri's Call, that's 2 4/4 flyers. Pretty solid for turn 2. And that's our turn. Very good. There are better hits, but, you know, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. And we'll see if we can ride this out. Now, the downside here is we don't really have any other plays for the rest of the game. We could play Valky, we could play a 2/2 Stone Coil. But we're basically going to rely on our 4/4 flyers here. If he has removal for him, we could be in trouble. So it's not like this deck's impossible to beat, but it's pretty frustrating to go against. And if you go against the first turn Ugin or first turn Tibalt Cosmic Imposter, it's pretty hard to come back. And there's also the flyer, the 4/5 draw a card flyer guy. Can't think of the name, but you know what I'm talking about. He's pretty hard to beat on turn 1 too, because he draws your cards, gains your life. Of course, we're not going to block. It's got Death Touch, and very nice. So we're going to go ahead and just swing with our Angels right off. I think the better play here is the Valky. See his hand, see if he's got any creatures. He's got the Hemoplague. Okay, we'll get rid of that. But he doesn't have any removal, so I think we're going to be able to bring it home with these Angels, unless he gets really lucky on the draws. What does she do? I forget. Oh, makes our lands creatures. Not a big deal. He has nothing in his hand to deal with the flyers, so yeah, he's probably going to concede at this point, but he might take a few more turns just to see if he can get lucky. But the reality of the situation is, it is not looking good for him. And yeah, we're just going to do our thing. So this is how the deck works. This is all it is. Basically just do this over and over. Sometimes you get, oh yeah, Genesis Ultimatum on turn 2 is often crazy too, because it's basically like 5 more Tibalt's Trickeries, sort of. It's crazy. Finn the Fangbearer. Okay, so he's going for some poison shenanigans. Looks like he's probably going to swing with the Typhoid. Now, I don't want to start getting poison counters, so I think I'm just going to... Oops. No. Pass and block. There we go. It's okay. I don't mind losing him. Not a big deal. So, we could kill Nissa, or we could just go for the kill on him. I think the play... Let's see what is nice to do. Put a creature... He could put his rats back. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I think I'm just going to swing him. I think this is the better play. It is a bit debatable. And we can play Valky again. Might as well get the Hemoplague again. Just to make sure we don't die to poison counters or something crazy, although I can't imagine how it would happen. He's at 2. He's got to kill both my Angels or gain life, or it's just over. So, yeah, it looks like this one's in the bag. Very nice. 3 in a row. Perfect for a video. There are occasions where you totally whiff and there's nothing you can do. Like if you whiff the Tibalt's Trickery and then you're just dead, you generally just concede. If it's pretty obvious that you're going to lose, don't waste your time. Just go to the next game. But this is the whole thing. And now you can see him over there looking at his options. Clearly there's no way he can win or do anything. So he's, it's over. We just got to wait, and he might rope us. Sometimes people rope you because they're so annoyed by how OP and broken the thing that just happened is. But Yeah, it is what it is.
Come to my aid.
I get it. It's a frustrating deck to go against sometimes. Okay, so he's swinging with these guys. I don't see how he can do anything. I'm just gonna take it. It doesn't. I could block like the Fin to avoid the 2 poison counters, but it doesn't look like this poison, especially since I know what's in his hand, his yard, and all his options. I can see them plain as day. I know 100% for sure that we have won this match. So yeah, that's basically all you do, is you just optimize your odds of winning the best you can and watch your opponent suffer. Oh my goodness, I love this deck. It's so fun because it's so, you know, maybe you agree after watching this, maybe you don't, but it obviously should totally be banned. And if you just build in general, like I said, you can play around with some of these cards a little bit if you see something else that looks like it's really OP to get on turn 2. But the obvious bombs are Dream Trawler, Genesis Ultimatum, Ugin, Valky. These are like the core. You kind of do have to have these. You can maybe do with less or whatever, but you know, and just play smart. Like, you know, just know the rules of Magic. I see some people like new to the game try to play decks like this, and they'll play like Ugin after Ugin and then realize, oh, it's a legend. So you just got to know the basic rules, but this is a good deck to kind of just jam and have some fun during the day. All right. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more absolute ownage, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.